Hey guys, welcome back to the Bro Show. We are breaking down a sports event that happened this week. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get on with it. Welcome back to the Bro Show, guys. Today we are breaking down the Michigan Wolverines versus Ohio State Buckeyes game. I'm here with my co-host Joey,
What's up, everybody?
and let's get straight into it, Joey. So, what was the score of the game?
Oh, best score I've seen this season by both teams. Not really, but Michigan
Yeah.
Michigan came out on top here, 30 with OSU with 24. Hard fought game the entire game, especially at the last minute. I would say that was really hard fought, but yeah, really good. And I want to talk about this rivalry here for a second. This is one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football.
Oh yeah,
The
100%.
Alabama Georgia game, that's not the big rivalry. Georgia Tech, and some of these rivalries like that, those aren't rivalries. This is a rivalry right here. The schedule
Yes.
comes out. Do you know how many people circle their calendars for
Very
this
many,
day?
very many, and also I want to talk about this capacity while we're on how many people are going here. It was over capacity by a couple thousands of people. Just
Yeah.
it was the capacity. It can only hold 107,000 people. There was 110,000 people.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
That is
You know
wow.
what the cheapest ticket was?
How much?
Nosebleeds for like $900.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah, I know. A good thing I didn't go. Good thing I watched it from my
Right,
house. I mean, that was good. I
right.
mean, I watched it today. Didn't you watch it today?
I did. Yeah, great game.
I did.
Honestly,
That was a good game.
great
I
game.
mean, I was face pressed against that screen there at the
Yeah, it
end
was everything. Something was happening almost every.
every second.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um.
Michigan played really hard from that
Yeah.
game that they played last week against Maryland. Was it Maryland? Yeah,
Yes, I'm
Maryland.
pretty sure. I don't think I
That was
watched that game though. That was the
that
one game
one.
I didn't watch.
That one was rough. They had a rough game.
Yeah.
They could have done better, but it's Michigan, and
Yeah.
with the game before the last game, you
Hmm.
they had to hard fought, and they also didn't have their head coach last week, nor did they have the head coach this week. So we've got
Yes.
to you got to balance it here for a second. But yeah, I mean, I really loved it. I want to take a second here, and I want to look at the quarterbacks. Do you mind if we look at the quarterbacks here for a second?
Yeah. 100%.
Just do
Yeah.
comparison on the quarterbacks.
Hmm.
We all know JJ McCarthy is
Yeah.
front runner for Heisman right now. If you haven't known that, he is front runner for Heisman. Can you I'd like to know more about Kyle McCord. Tell me what his stats were from today.
Kyle McCord. I cannot find Kyle McCord for some reason right now. If you could find him and tell me really
Yeah,
fast
so
while I
Kyle
find him.
McCord, he had a I can't explain his game.
Hmm.
It was a weird game. I've never seen anything like that. I've
Yeah.
never seen anything like that. Kyle
Hmm.
McCord went 18 for 30,
Yeah, that's right.
271 yards, two touchdowns to two interceptions against the greatest quarterback to ever think about the game in college football in Michigan history, minus Jim Harbaugh and the great Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Um, 16 for 20, JJ went with 148 yards and one touchdown. Although
Wow.
Kyle McCord did play, his stats do sound like he's a little bit better. McCarthy played the game perfectly.
Hmm.
We look
100%.
at McCarthy did not throw the ball much because the run game. Ohio State could not stop our run game with Blake Corum.
Hmm. True.
Thank you to Blake
You
Corum,
know.
who now has 22 rushing
Hmm.
touchdowns in this point.
Yeah, and I was wondering almost the whole game, why J.D. McCarthy wasn't throwing the ball that much. Honestly, I
And you
was.
also have to think about the wind. The
Yeah,
wind is
the
a
win
little bit of a
was.
factor too.
I was thinking about all that stuff, but like with J.J. McCarthy, how good he is at throwing that ball and getting it down the field, it just was. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like they could have racked in a little bit more points if they would have went through more passing instead of
Well,
more
Ohio
running.
State would have won if Michigan wouldn't have done that interception
That
there
is
at the
true.
last few seconds.
Yeah, that was a
Ohio
great play.
State would have won the game.
Yeah, hundred
Would have
percent.
won the game, and that would have been the end of Michigan's season. They wouldn't have been
Yeah.
playing any. Well, they mean they would have gone to a bowl game, but they wouldn't have gone anywhere else.
Hmm.
I mean, you know what I'm
Which.
saying? Because it just boggles my mind how
Hmm.
one play can make an entire game difference.
Hmm. And for what is it now? The past 3 years, if I'm not
Three.
wrong, they've beat
Yeah,
Ohio State. So keeping that record
3 years.
going, yeah. And the
Yeah.
first, hmm
Yeah, Hutchinson was happy about that with the 2021 with Hutchinson
hmm
and Ojabo on the defensive end, which was amazing. 22 with Mike Morris on the defensive end, which did amazing. This year, I would really say McCarthy and Corum played showed the game. There were some defensive players who really stood out to me in
uh
that
huh,
game, but the first 2 years of winning, the defensive ends just played. This year was mostly our secondary, the secondary
hmm hmm
and the QB running back combination back there. So you got to give him credit back there. So
yeah,
I mean,
100%. hmm
there were predictions that Ohio State was going to win, and they are picking Ohio State, and then you got these people who are like, I think Michigan's going to win. Um, who was
Which
the
is true.
Pat
Yeah.
McAfee?
hmm
If Pat McAfee, if you're gonna listen to this podcast, boy, you were so wrong, because Pat McAfee picked Ohio State. Now, the guy who always has the
hmm
mascot, you know which guy I'm talking about, the mascot
Yeah,
head guy
I know
who's on
exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
College Game Day
Uh
on
huh.
ESPN.
hmm
If he ever finds out about this podcast, I
right.
just want to say, again, you picked the wrong person because Michigan,
hmm
they just lock in. Once they find their rhythm, they lock in. You can't
Exactly.
take anything away
hmm
from that.
And I'm gonna say
I,
this. I don't even know why he picked Ohio State because the way Michigan has been playing this whole season, it's a no brainer to go with Michigan. But even though
yes.
Ohio State is the second seed, I mean, yeah, I don't know how he got that. How he got Ohio State. I'm gonna be 100%.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. And you look at on College Game Day or something like that, whatever they have on Fox. Um, even Ohio State's former coach Urban Meyer picked Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
think a
mean, I
little bit
can
of
see
it was
why.
biased. Honestly, it's a biased type of thing, kind of you
Well,
could
I can
say,
see
but
why he
I
picked
see
them
why. Yeah, obviously, yeah, 100%. But
because
mhm.
why wouldn't you? You're a former coach of that
that,
place.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's kind of like a biased thing. Like, oh yeah, you were a coach of them. You think that you know what they can do, so you're gonna pick them, but you're not really thinking about what the other team can do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? Yeah. So I think it has like a tad bit of like a biased standpoint here because he used to, you know, coach. So I don't know, but
Yeah, I
mhm.
don't know. I mean, the game overall was great. I
It
mean,
was yeah, a great
both
game.
offenses and defense played really good. They're
hmm
really the stats can't complain here. I don't want to spend too much time on the stats, but they can't complain with the way they played and the way I mean everyone played.
hmm
Um, I mean total yardage was pretty darn close. Turnover and Ohio State had two turnovers due to the fact that they weren't paying attention to
Yeah, the
certain
ball.
things.
Uh huh.
The one turnover that sealed the game for Michigan. I don't know if you saw this play.
I
I
did. Yeah,
believe it
I think
was
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Samerstill,
hmm
Mikey
Um,
Samerstill,
uh, was it?
Rod Moore. I think it was Rod Moore. No, one of the two in the
Yeah.
secondary,
hmm
secondary of the defense. Literally, it just came out of nowhere and took the ball. I was like, yes, finally we
Right.
have something here.
And I
But
don't know exactly who did this play. I don't know what it was. It was they had to call it back. They almost did not count as a touchdown. I'm pretty sure. Was that the
oh,
first?
I hate when those. Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
god,
I
what was that?
hated that.
Who did that play?
I don't remember.
Oh my god, because JJ McCarthy threw a
Oh
bullet
yeah, he throws
to.
bullets all the time. What are you talking
I
about?
know, but
It's KJ
it was just.
McCarthy here.
I know, but it was just straight, and it almost didn't even count as a touchdown. And
But I
yeah,
want to take a second.
hmm
I want to take a second here, and I want to say, how do I put this in words? The Michigan training staff and doctors. I want to give them a round of applause. I'm not actually going to clap,
yeah,
but I want to give them a
yeah,
round of
yeah, yeah.
applause. Oh, what happened to Zach Zinter melted my heart. No, no lie, that melted my heart. It was so sad.
hmm
He broke his fibula and tibia.
Oof.
He had to have surgery that day.
Yeah, that was Mm-hmm.
But and get this, both of his parents were there, and it was senior day.
Wow.
I
That.
watched. I heard. I don't know where. I was listening to it, and the whole crowd. They didn't have any commentator speaking. It was just the whole crowd, and they were just chanting, "Let's go, Zach! Let's go,
Yeah.
Zach!"
That
And
was.
as he was getting carted
Mm-hmm.
off, he's like, "All right, guys, thank you for the support." And he's got this fist in the air. He's like, "Thank you for the support, guys. Thank you for the
Mm-hmm.
support.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in you." And then right after that, quorum, thank you very much. Touchdown number 22 for Zach Center. I mean
Yeah.
that. I mean, there's no other way to explain it except
Yeah. Yeah.
that was awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
what happened to him was atrocious. Now, is he going to play for the rest of the year? I don't know. They're in the championship game next week. Will they play? Who knows?
Yeah. I
We
mean.
got it. We got to do an episode on that championship game.
Yeah.
Iowa against Michigan. Iowa's defense pretty rough
Yeah.
there, but
Who do you think will win that one?
oh, Michigan without a doubt.
Really?
I
Yeah.
mean, if
I was.
Iowa's
Mm-hmm.
defense comes in plays better than I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Which.
Michigan's gonna win.
Yeah. What is Iowa's the 16th seed right now? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
but
that
they're
should be an
16th
easy.
seed. Hold on, they're 16th seed in the country. They're first seed in the Big Ten West.
Yeah. But I mean, I just I don't I I don't want to say Michigan is going to lose, but I don't
No,
know how
they're
they're
gonna
gonna
win.
be.
I
Know
have
they're
a
gonna
feeling they're
win.
gonna
I
win.
know they're gonna win, but I don't want to say they're gonna win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a 50-50 type game. I feel like I don't know. I have that feeling. I have that feeling. But
Well,
I hope Michigan wins. I do hope Michigan
I
wins.
did see.
But
I don't know if you saw. I was about to watch a Michigan game one night, and Iowa was playing Minnesota,
mm-hmm.
and they Minnesota kicked off to Iowa, and the Iowa guy, you know, was
Mm-hmm.
ready. He calls for fair catch, grabs the ball, starts running.
Yeah.
He's running down the sideline towards
Yeah.
his left.
Mm-hmm.
He was inches from stepping out.
Yeah.
Inches from stepping out. He runs all the way down, gets a touchdown. They call it back. They call it all back. He called for a fair catch, but then they did something. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you couldn't have let that gone? No.
Yeah.
See, this is why.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we can't trust refs. But again, back to this Michigan Ohio State game. That was perfect. Execution was perfect. And I want to congratulate Sharon Moore.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. 100%. 100% there.
thoughts on Sharon Moore head coaching for 4 games this year?
Just he. I mean, he did good. He did good. That's I.
Why? Here's my
That's all I can
question.
say though. I
So
don't
why
know.
didn't they go with someone else? Like they had Jesse Minter coach a game. They had Mike Hart, the running backs coach a quarter. They had his son Jay Harbaugh coach a quarter. Why couldn't any of those guys taken over one of the weeks?
Honestly, I think what was going through their heads is they just thought he could do it, and he did. He
He
did do
did. He
it.
executed very well in
But
each game.
I think they knew he had potential, and they saw that, or they knew that he would be good to coach that game, and he did it. I think it was good on his part. I think they did a good job on picking
Okay,
him.
fair. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I'm surprised Harbaugh wasn't like, yeah, I want my son to coach. I want my son to coach. My son's a better coach. No, no, no. Harbaugh's not like
Yeah,
that. I don't know if
no,
you know this, but Harbaugh's not like that. I
which
mean,
is
if you
good.
go back,
That is
if you
great for a
go and
coach.
watch,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but if you go and watch like interviews like afterwards, where like, hey, coach, can we talk to you? And he starts talking. They try to ask him a question. They're like, what is this? And he's like, oh, I want you. You talk to this guy. And Harbaugh does not like doing interviews on field. He hates doing them on
Yeah,
field.
I mean,
You notice that?
if I was hardball, I would not like. Honestly, I feel like if you want to do an interview, do it in an interview standpoint, not on the field. I don't know. I'm just that's my type of point of view here. Is just I think doing interviews on the field is just not a place to
Okay.
do interviews.
I
I
see.
get it's the
No,
end of the
I
game.
see.
Everybody kind of gets on the field, gets hyped up, like gets celebrates on the field.
Yeah.
But they should do it after everybody's in the game. In like press, press conference type stuff.
Yeah, the press conference type. You know,
Exactly. I just think that's a better place. I don't know.
I don't know if this applies to football, but I was watching. I don't know what I was. I must have been watching like a YouTube clip.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Fallon, a
Mm-hmm.
pretty funny guy. Pretty funny guy.
Hundred
He
percent.
had. I believe he plays for the Celtics now. Boston Celtics player Blake Griffin,
Mm-hmm.
who's bounced around to a bunch of teams. He even played here in Detroit for about a year or
Yeah.
two. Anyways, but Blake was doing an interview with Jimmy, and he's like, and Jimmy was must have been like, yeah, what's an interview like, and like when you're playing. He said, well,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you come around to the front desk? So he comes around to the front of the desk. He says, all right, start running in place. So Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
runs. But did you see this video?
No, I didn't. But this is. It
Okay,
sounds funny. It sounds quite
it,
funny.
it is actually.
Yeah.
So he runs in place for 30 seconds. So while he's running in place, Blake is he's he's commentating on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gets even funnier. So he says, "All right, and you're done." And so once he's done,
Uh-huh.
he's like all right. So then he starts asking him questions. And Jimmy's like, what are you doing? No, he's out of breath. He
Yeah.
can't think. He's like, that's exactly how we feel. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly how we feel afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So interviews like that, it should be taken. It should be taken
In a press
lightly. You
conference.
shouldn't
Yeah.
have to. I agree with you, but if you don't get the interview right after the game ends, they're gonna lose their train of thought.
True.
But you have to think with this game,
Mm-hmm.
with the Michigan Ohio State game, when you're here, when you're yeah, the big house in Ann Arbor,
Mm-hmm.
that field is going to be flooded. You're not going to be able to get an interview in.
Yeah.
So I,
I think I
I see
yeah.
your point.
It's. Mm-hmm.
I see
But
your point.
yeah. I mean. Mm-hmm. But let's
I,
head over to I wanna just go on the first downs here, real fast. I
yeah,
wanna I wanna just take a look at these. I was looking at this real fast. Ohio State with 20 first downs, Michigan with only 18. Like in Michigan not having less total yards, less first downs, and still pulling off this win is crazy to me. I don't know.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Um,
Which having more first downs, if you really think about it, is kind of a bad thing because if you have more first downs, it means you have the ball for longer and you're not scoring those touchdowns. You know.
yeah, but if you
So
have to have the ball for longer, then you
true.
can get touchdowns.
Which Michigan did have 33 minutes and 28 seconds of possession. Ohio State only had 26 minutes and 32 seconds of
You know
possession.
why they kept them from that much possession?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know, but yeah, elaborate that.
Sacks,
Mm-hmm.
either sacks or just
Yeah,
playing rough.
good. Yeah, no, they played good D. They had a good defense.
Defense is mostly the key. JJ McCarthy has said it multiple times.
Uh huh.
Defense is
Key.
key.
It always is
Defense
because
is what helped us win this game today. Defense
yeah,
is what helped us win this game today. Defense is always key. You're like, no, offense is key. No. Defense is key because if you don't have your defenders, you
yeah,
can't do
they're
this, you can't
they're
do that.
scoring nonstop, score after score after score after score,
Yes.
and that's why
Because
you
if
need
your
a good
defense falls
defense. Yeah,
apart,
you can have
then
a mid. Yeah, you can have a mid offense, and
rack up
you're
your
fine.
points.
Yeah,
That's exactly, and I'm gonna call out. I'm not gonna call out this team, but that's the way Georgia plays.
yeah,
That's what they play. They play these teams. Their defenses are decent, but Georgia's offense is powerful. So
yeah.
they're just shoo,
Mm-hmm.
and just going down, and you can't stop them.
And that's why, yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's got to find that rhythm like Georgia does. And if they find that rhythm, boom,
Yeah,
we're gonna have
and
better seasons.
yeah, and
We're
I want
gonna
to say something
have
now.
higher
Mm-hmm.
scores.
Yeah, and I want to say something really fast. Like, and why you need a good defense is because think about this, right? If your defense, other team is trying to score, as long as you have a good defense stopping them from score, and you have like an okay offense, as long as that offense is getting a couple points here and there, you're still gonna have more points if you have a better D from stopping the other team from getting points. As long as your defense or your offense is at least getting a couple points, you know,
Yeah,
your defense is just stopping them from getting points at all, you're gonna win at least
yeah.
by a couple points. You know?
No, I get it. I want to talk here about this happens in a lot of the games, and this game especially. I don't think you should ever do this in the game. I do want to get into why we call it the game here in a second, but at the end of each half, so the second quarter and the fourth quarter, um, whoever has the ball usually quote unquote spikes it.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on doing that at the end of those quarters, those 2 quarters, the second and fourth?
I mean, I don't know.
It's a hard topic, I
Mm,
know, but it has to get said.
I mean, I don't know. I don't. I don't know. It's you got to really think about it. I don't think it's bad. I'll tell you that. I definitely don't think it's bad. But
Okay. I,
what
I,
about
I
you? What do you
think
think?
I think games should just be played full on until then. But if you're ahead by
Mm-hmm.
20
Mm-hmm.
some odd points, maybe 30 or more, be my guest and spike it at the end of the last 30
Yeah, and
seconds.
I think that's why they have
But
it.
if you have a game
But
like this when you're 30 to 24, no, come on, just play a game.
mm-hmm.
Just that just takes up more time.
Yeah.
Then you have to stop, then you have to reset. No, that takes more time to stop than reset than to play. Because if you play, the time that you took to spike the ball and reset, you could have been
Mm-hmm.
on another
Mm-hmm.
play.
Yeah, 100%.
So I, that's my take.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like it depends what team it is, but they have to keep rules in place. They can't be like, oh yeah, if you have this many points, you can keep it going. And I think they just got to find a good pick one. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's
Yeah.
not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. So I don't know.
All right, so now let's get into the topic of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Why do they call it the game?
it's a football game. I
Why
mean,
do they call it the game?
the one of the
The
best
game.
one of the biggest rivalries in college football. That's why it's the game. It's the game to watch. It's the game to be at. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's what I think personally. It's just the game to watch. It's the game to be at. It's the game. You know.
Okay. I mean, why can't we have it be just any other ordinary game?
It's just not. It's just not any other ordinary game. It is it's just the biggest rivalry in college football. I think this is one of the a bigger rivalry than any NFL team will ever have. It's just it's just Ohio State has won so many games, and now Michigan is coming back with these year back to back wins. So it's just the game to watch because if once Ohio State wins, Michigan's streak is over. So you got to really watch it. You got to know if Michigan keeps their streak, if Ohio stops their streak, if Ohio comes back with their old streak. It's just the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of how
No,
I
I
think
get
about it.
it. It's the game because this rivalry has been going on for so long.
Yeah, for so long. You
And
know,
the last time Michigan won 3 games against Ohio State,
yeah, was I want to say what was it?
1995 to 1997.
Yes.
I think it would be really
Mm-hmm.
cool if next year they beat Ohio State for
Mm-hmm.
a fourth time.
I if Michigan keeps playing like this, and we're still out, Michigan is still gonna have JJ McCarthy for one more year, if I'm not mistaken,
He may go to
or is
he
he
may go
leaving?
draft. He may draft. He may
I
go to
really
the
don't.
NFL draft.
I mean, he should, but I don't know, bro. I think he needs to stay one more year just so we can get that fourth in for Ohio State. But I mean, the best for him would probably be going in that draft. I think he can make it
It's
big in the
always the
NFL.
best for him.
He could make it really big in the NFL. He could be he's one of the best college uh, quarterbacks right now, in my opinion. Like, I mean, if he keeps playing like how he does in college football, and if he brings that into the NFL, he's gonna be one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
I
No, I
think
get it.
he could beat some of Tom Brady's records. He could beat some of like all these great quarterbacks records. He could if he really put his mind if he really had that mindset to do it. He could.
Yeah, he could.
Mm-hmm.
No, will he?
That is a great question. Yeah.
That's always the question. Will he?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't complain here. I mean, there we can't. I have nothing else really on this game.
Mm-hmm.
This was an incredible game. If you did not watch this game, um,
You're missing
I'm
out.
sorry, but you missed a really great game.
Which you can still watch clips if you really want to.
Yeah, go to
Which
ESPN and they got clips. I mean, they got interviews, they got clips. Go to YouTube, they probably have clips there. But next week, yeah, Michigan plays Iowa. Um, but probably when I think what we might have to delay the letting go of this game so we can
yeah.
not letting go of this game, but release of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let
Maybe a
this go
few
out.
days late.
Yeah.
We're both pretty tired after this game. That was a rough.
Mm,
I don't think I could. I don't think it's good to upload this tonight. We have to wait a
oh,
week.
right. We gotta let it settle
Our
in.
schedule,
Mm-hmm.
our schedules too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us settle in schedules and get ready for the next game because we're going to be on top of that game too.
Yeah, 100%. Um, I just want
But
to
I
say
have
really,
nothing
yeah.
else.
Oh,
I have nothing
I just
else.
want to say really, really fast. Obviously the score, end up score 24-30. You got to give a round of applause for Ohio State here. You do because
They played a good
getting
game.
they played a good game. They got 24 points in. It was a close game at the end. They weren't able to push it through, but they played a great game. It was Michigan had had an actual they actually had a try for once. I'm gonna say that they actually had a
Yeah,
try for a game. I feel like all these
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
games they've been easy games, 40 plus points. But this game they actually had a try. They still racked up 30 points, but they actually had a try. So that's a round of applause for Ohio State. So I
Yep.
mean, I really had to say that there. Just the way that they played, the they at least stopped Michigan from getting more than 30 points, which is good for them. They at least got 24 points, and now they're 11-1. Michigan is
12-0.
12-0. So I mean, just great game, great game
Yeah,
overall.
can't complain.
You can't, no, you really can't. But also a round of applause for Michigan for beating Ohio State again. That
3
is
years in a
just
row.
3 years in a row. Let's make it four. Am I right? And then
Yep.
they go on to Iowa on the
Next week.
next week, which is the when is it? It's next week. That's what it is. It's next week. It's not
Yep,
in
it's next week.
I can't find the exact date next week. What is it?
December 2nd.
December 2nd? Okay. Wow, we're almost in December, boys. We're almost in December. Boys and girls,
But you
we're
know
almost
what?
there.
It,
Christmas
it's
time.
gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one, isn't it?
No, just kidding.
No, it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be bad. Yeah. Well,
All
do
right.
you
Well,
have
I
anything
think
else to
that's it
say?
for this show.
Yeah, you have anything else?
No, I'm ready for next week though.
Same. I hope that game will be good. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how it's gonna play out. I can't wait to watch it though. I'm gonna say that. Can't wait to watch it.
Nah, me neither.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. Make sure
Yes.
you go, if you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure to go to our YouTube at the Bro Show 2023. Make sure to subscribe there. We post we post all of our podcasts on YouTube and on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, our Spotify is the Bro Show. We do post them on both social media. So if you could drop a follow on or subscribe on YouTube, we should be starting an Instagram soon. So we'll hopefully get that up and running. Post some
And
good
if
clips.
you want us to have an Instagram, comment and
Yeah,
let us
comment. Let us
know.
know.
And
Yeah.
we'll post some stuff on there.
Yeah, we will make sure to keep these podcasts coming out for you guys. But thanks for watching, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.